The truck crisis is real. When you walk down car lots, look at Stellantis and Ram. They can't sell any of their trucks. They're overflowing and spewing vehicles left, right, and center. They also don't have anything very new and innovative to support you with, and nobody wants to buy the trucks. With that twin turbo straight six, that's the best thing that they've got to talk about all year. GM has mass amounts of inventory spreading out all over their lots as well. Very difficult to get rid of those, and quality control issues with their infotainment systems have literally plagued the brand, put many of those vehicles on the back burner, and have hurt the brand as a overall. But less of the tech, less of the junk, less of the widgets. Give us a full-size truck that can do the work. Maybe crank windows. Maybe we don't need a sunroof. That's what customers are now looking for. But now Ford as well has struggled. They've certainly seen their issues with the lacking of sales with the F-150 Lightning. They just could not put sales to the ground. The truck and EV market has gone absolutely ballistic for Ford. I mean, look at vehicles like this. We have the Ford Lightning. Obviously, with all of the technology, you're into six figures for this vehicle. They actually had to even halt distribution of their F-150 Lightnings back in February 9th because of some quality related issues. And even with that said, a lot of those trucks weren't selling, so they even had to slice some of their output down in half because the sales were just that poor. Incentives were being thrown out like those party cards on the Las Vegas Strip at 11 p.m. And even though Ford is the leading manufacturer for overall sales of the big three, they still found themselves on a slow decline, selling less and less and less pickup trucks as the last few quarters went on. Welcome back, my savory seeds of sunshine. We're here to talk about some state-of-the-art breakthrough and literal game-changer technologies. So while realistically a beautiful truck like this, we're talking about the Ford F-150 Tremor like that, in all of its glory, its beautiful tinted windows, you like this beautiful accent, you've got the beautiful stepping boards, and of course the upsized tires and the decals to show the Tremor. It just looks like a great truck. But this is the truck that I wish I could get for $40,000. Not one of those little baby trucks. This is actually more like what I'd like to see available, but unfortunately I think the ship has sailed. That Ford's bringing to the table, and they're gonna strike while the iron's hot and likely leave the rest of their competitors in the dust. Now, Ford's taken a step back and realized that a lot of their tried and true, real die-hard, hardcore supporters love the internal combustion engine, which is how they came to the brand of the Blue Oval in the first place. I mean, they have lots of vehicles on the car lots like this as you look around. No shortages. They've been loading up for some time in anticipation of, for example, take a look over here. We have this beautiful little F-150. This is a Tremor right here. And I look on the sticker sheet here and we see a price tag of what? $77,900 on this one. And as a result, Ford has decided to continue on further developing and enhancing the internal combustion engine.
I don't understand the words you just said.
In all of the three models, from the Ford Super Duty, like the 3/4 and the 1-ton pickup trucks. And we have a little bit of a larger truck over here. And this one is going for a whopping $113,000 right here, and what we have here is essentially a Super Duty truck. So the light duty pickups like the F-150s, the Tremors, the Raptors, as well as the Ford Ranger. Collectively, these three major models consume about 90% of their overall fleet in the pickup truck realm. So the undisclosed issues that the F-150 Lightning was seeing partially was related to some headlight modules. The headlights weren't necessarily turning off entirely. And according to Kumar Galhotra, who is the Ford's chief operating officer, is saying once this headlight issue as well as a few other smaller problems are licked, the Ford Lightning should be hitting the road back by the end of the month. And naturally, failing demand of the Ford F-150 Lightning out of the Dearborn plant has sparked some conversation. Galhotra is actually saying the old supply and demand may start to dictate how many vehicles are on the lot, how much we need to expect to sell, and where do the profit margins need to be. As a matter of fact, there's been some big incentives knocking the prices down by as much as $5,500 simply earlier this month. And because the Ford F-150 Lightning may have left a little bit of a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, the next Ford F-150 electrified truck may be called something entirely different and will likely be produced at the Tennessee Electric Vehicle Center assembly facility at the Blue Oval City Complex. With that said, Production's expected to be pushed back from 25 to at least 2026, possibly beyond. Now, while Ford's overall demand for pickup trucks is seemingly growing, and beautiful trucks like this, we have the F-150 Lariat. Of course, it's all decked out with leather and sunroof, has all the technology. Every single day, about 144,000 of those units, both the Ranger and the Ranger Raptor, as well as the F-150 and its derivatives, are likely to be released from some of those quality control updates, and we're likely to see those hit the market here very shortly. Watch those dealerships literally overflow with brand new pickup trucks in the Ford space. Would you believe we're expecting to see the Ford F-150, the Lightning, the Raptor, as well as the hybrid? That's right, an F-150 hybrid. They're quickly learning what they learned from the Maverick hybrid, that some consumers don't want to go all electric, but there's more than satisfied with going with an electric vehicle that might be partially powered by an internal combustion engine. Clearly, it seems like Ford has figured something out. They've definitely brought a lower-end vehicle to the market to fill a gap that used to exist with a full-size pickup truck. Sell us a substandard lower-grade vehicle, and they're selling like hotcakes, but they're selling us a lower-grade vehicle to make up for the fact that there's a gap in the market and people can no longer afford a pickup truck, and this is what they're offering right here. Yes, what are we looking at here? Here, this is a Maverick. So Ford's offering up this as the most popular vehicle right now. So Andrew Frick, who is the president of Ford Blue industry-wide, says that Ford has never released so many new models all in one shot, and truck sales increased about 4.5% last year. And according to Ford, this doesn't show like there's any signs of letting up anytime soon. Ford's actually bragging that they're producing a truck every 33 seconds. Would you believe that, folks? And clearly, while the EV market is starting to cool down, the hybrid market is blossoming. And about 72% of the pickup truck market that's powered by a hybrid drivetrain is led by Ford, specifically the Ford Maverick. Needed something that they could do regular pickup truck duties, and this was it. Here's is an XLT. These go for about $44,000 Canadian in the hybrid version like this. And believe it or not, the hybrid is only about $1,500 US, or a couple grand more than the non-hybrid versions of this particular vehicle, the Maverick. And so it does represent a little bit of a price point, and that was Ford's attempt at getting people into a mid-sized truck or a smaller truck, of course, and beat some of their competition to the punch. But did you know that Ford F-150 Power Boost is coming right around the corner, and they have full intentions to double down on its production levels? And they really do hope to target about 20% of the F-150s to be of that hybrid capacity. And if the Ford Maverick's of any indication, we have little to doubt that Ford F-150 hybrid will likely fill in that gap, and possibly even more, as people look for full-size pickup trucks, but are fully conscious of the fact that pure ICE is going away, but not everybody wants to move into the electric vehicle powered by strictly a battery and electric motor. And Galotra's even admitting that they can even scale up accordingly. On top of that, the European customers are talking that they may in fact get themselves a Ranger plug-in hybrid, which may operate more in commercial applications, but is definitely another segment that people are looking forward to. Plug-in hybrid does give you the best of both worlds, gives you the hybrid activity, but it can give you some real capacity to drive on pure hybrid alone for a significant amount of miles. So that's definitely what the doctor ordered in terms of pickup trucks. Now, Ford continues to work on some of the quality issues. We know software was one of the big problems, where there's some modules that were staying alive day and night, which were unfortunately drawing up the battery and causing other electrical issues. Now, since then, Ford's made some changes to some of the software updates. They're also addressing some of the other quality problems, and they're very quickly getting ready to release some of those vehicles. As well, did you know the 2024 Ford F-150s and some of their derivatives like the Rangers are fully designed for 2024. Yes, new interior, new exterior, and there's even a new drivetrain available. A brand new 2.7 liter V6 that's twin turbocharged and available Blue Cruise hands-free driving. So at the Dearborn Truck Michigan plant, they're talking about every 53 seconds a new truck hits the assembly line, where they start slapping the fenders on, the hood, they start bolting it all together, put the blue oval of pride, fill up the fluids, get everything running, and they're good to go. Did you also know one of the biggest innovations that Ford now is tackling is 3D printing? Yes, that's something a lot of the other big manufacturers aren't even considering yet, and yet Ford is utilizing that application right on the front line. They're even using it in a way that if there's an assembly line technician putting parts together and they realize, well, this part could fit a little bit better if we shave some of this or we did this, they're actually able to make that application, that suggestion, go back to the jig and actually have that rectified by the next day. Clearly, in real time, Ford has full intentions on creating lighter, more efficient parts that are easier to assemble, and it clearly represents a huge dollars earning capacity for Ford. So while the other manufacturer dealing with their own problems, we talked about Toyota and they have wastegate issues, they've had some rod bearing problems in the new Tundra. We know Ram, they just can't sell a truck, and while they're bent over tying their shoes trying to figure out which shoe they should tie first, they're forgetting all the technology and what Ford's doing in the background. As well, GM can't get their hands straight either, dealing with quality control issues with their integration of infotainment system, their electronics, their programming, their transmission issues, as well as their rocker and lifter issues that they're having to address for each and every customer that comes down the line with an engine problem. Elevation Edition has the 5.3 liter V8 engine. This is basically a lower level truck. I look inside, yeah, it has cloth seats. There's no sunroof up there. It's a very basic looking rig. It's a pretty truck, but no less. Even with 4x4, it's just not worth the money they're asking. Why? Well, because I'm looking in here and check the sticker. This is a 24 Sierra 1500 Crew, 4-wheel drive, and they're actually asking $72,000, $224. $72,000 for a base pickup truck. I know somebody who bought an Elevation Edition 5 years ago and they paid barely 40 grand. We've almost doubled the price of an Elevation. He's even got the same engine and the truck doesn't look that much different. Those manufacturers are all seeing the struggles and they're all falling behind, where Ford is fully innovating, hitting where the iron's hot, clearly applying some innovative new technology, bringing new models that are highly sought after, like hybrid technology, in a space where people are literally hungry for it. But let's just hope, everybody, let's just hope that Ford recognizes with some of the savings on the production side that they can pass some of those savings down to the consumer, because at the end of the day, that's what drives sales. Our affordability and the cost of living crisis is real. So people just need something that's affordable and easy to own, and let's hope that Ford is listening. And with all of that said, right there, check it out. Stellantis CEO promises to turn Jeep around. They're not selling, and they hope to bring new markets, new products to the environment, and maybe even some cost savings. Hope to see each and every one of you on the next one. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.